Join Tim and Christina Madden, co-founders of Executive Career Upgrades, on their podcast, the Executive Career Upgrades Podcast. As an executive in today's highly competitive job market, it can be tough to succeed. However, with Tim's nationally recognized career advice and Christina's mindset expertise, you can reach your full potential. Tune in to upgrade your career and get ahead of the competition.
All right, everyone, how we doing? Hope everyone is having a great Wednesday. We are July 19th. We are over halfway done with this year. So I would ask you to get this podcast started, right? Where are you in the commitments you made to yourself at the start of the year, right? What did you tell yourself at the beginning of the year saying, hey, now is the year that I'm going to lose weight, stop drinking, stop smoking, get the job and money that I deserve? Hey, where are you in alignment to your goals? It's always good to do those self-reflections, right, frequently throughout the year. And that's some of the things we're going to be talking about today. But as we get started, hey, welcome to the Executive Career Upgrades Podcast. If you don't know me, my name is Tim Madden. We help those in corporate America land the job and money that they deserve in the marketplace, help start that new job off the right way, and developing those leadership tactics and strategies that are so vital to make success easy for your team, right? Hey, we go live each week inside the Executive Career Network. 11,000 members over on Facebook. Check it out. If you're watching the ECN right now, hey, say hi in the comments. I am monitoring them. And to our friends over on LinkedIn and YouTube, I see you. Or you could be watching this as well as we stream to everywhere on the internet after the live segment is done. And as always, hey, do me a favor, send this to a friend, share it if you get anything valuable today, and I know you will. This week, hey, solid week in the Executive Career Upgrades program. We had 9 offers, 7 accepted, and we had someone, you aren't going to believe this, but I'm going to go ahead and tell you, who got a $127,000 increase, right? So before we get started and before I go into the topic, we can all agree that those are possibly unrealistic results, right? When you hear about people doubling their salary, finding a new job quickly, getting a raise of 50K, getting a sign-on bonus of 50K or whatever it is, right? You're like, that's not even possible, right? Or when someone loses, 100 pounds, 106 pounds in 90 days, you're like, that's impossible. Where is that coming from in your mind, right? Where's that coming from? Anything is possible in this life. Most of the time, what is missing is either the knowledge or the action, right? Action means, hey, going out and actually doing it, right? So I assure you, no matter what you're trying to do in your life, when you hear unrealistic results that are actually like true stories that did happen, I would question why your mind kind of says that, right? But that's a topic for another time. Let's get started on today's topic. Let me pull it up, which I just lost. That's not good. Hold on, everyone. Technical issue. I lost my notes. There we go. Awesome. So, hey, if you need help in your career, like always, go on over to execupgrades.com/podcast. But we have a special segment for you today. Where is it? Oh, here it is. The book is live on Amazon, right? So you can go to Amazon. I'll put the link in the comments in a second. If some of our marketing team doesn't, no worries. Discipline Equals Dream Job by yours truly is over on Amazon. I believe you can pick this book up. I made it as cheap as possible. I think the paperback book is $5. The Kindle is like 99 cents or $2, something like that. We made them as cheap as possible. And the Audible version is coming soon. But hey, I want to talk about just my story, right? A little bit, and why I decided to write this book specifically. Okay. If you guys don't know my story, right? My story, maybe you're newer or you just started following Christina and I, right? But a long time ago, when I got off active duty for the Army, I had the biggest problem, one of the biggest problems in my life. I could not find a job. I didn't know how to find a job. I was in the military the whole time, right? So I didn't know about resumes. I didn't know about getting in front of decision makers. I didn't know about how to talk about money. I didn't know any of this stuff. Didn't know any of it. And for 9 months, I kept applying for jobs online, like some of you have, because I've talked to some of you, and hundreds of applications over 9 months. I actually only got 2 interviews, and they both went horribly bad because I didn't know what I was doing. And here I was, Soldier of the Year, got this nice ring for being one of the top recruiters, in the Army at the time, soldier, all these accolades, man. That just goes to show you it doesn't matter how good you are, right? You can have all of these great accomplishments and achievements, but if you don't have these whole new tactics and strategies of how do I target, we're going to go into all that stuff. But if you don't have that, other people are going to beat you out. And that's what happened to me for 9 months. And it was a very trying time in my life, very difficult time. And fortunately, at that time, I wasn't married to Christina and I didn't have children. I couldn't even imagine like 9 months, no income, barely scraping by, trying to figure it out, right? Got on unemployment for $275 a week or something as I just transitioned. I was freaking so lost about 15 years ago, something like that. And then I went into the world of recruiting, staffing, headhunting, etc. for nearly a decade and learned all of this stuff through repetition. The way that you do not want to learn, right? If I approach something, I want a blueprint and a plan. And if typically I have some additional cash, resource, assets, I'm probably want someone there with me every step of the way who's done it before, right? But I had to learn all these things the hard way, right? Just by trial and error over a decade. And I've compiled that into this book right here to help you, right? Some people, right? So whether you're searching for a new job, you might be searching in the future, or you plan to have like another job through the course of your life, right? This book is filled with tactics and strategies to show you, right, how to get a career upgrade. Now, with that being said, right, this book right here is, it's a lot about mindset as well. Because what I've noticed throughout my career is we've had the blueprint and the strategy for years here at ECU. And as we've serviced thousands of people now, right, thousands of clients, it's never been like a truly like kind of a tactics and strategies problem. It's always been an action problem, which is typically affected by this: not knowing that you're worth it, lacking self-confidence, questioning the process, have problems getting started, being consistently inconsistent, or maybe your back's up against the wall and you're dealing with a lot of anxiety and you need a job right now. Hey, I have been there. So I have made sure, while this book includes all of the tactics and strategies you need to land a job you love, I additionally put a huge emphasis on mindset as it relates specifically to my story, and some key principles that I've had to shift my perspective a little bit that has served me tremendously throughout my career now and made me the person I am today. Okay. Now, I will let you know before we get into briefly talking about some of these concepts, because I don't want to ruin the book for you, because I know it's a good read, is one of the saddest things, man. One of the saddest things about success is that when you are climbing to these different areas in your life, whether it's the corporate world, right, trying to be the best leader that you can be at the highest level, being the best, taking care of your body and your mind through fitness and self-development, having good relationships with your family and the community, right? All of these things are like truly important. And I've known if you're ever lacking in one of those areas, it pulls all the other areas down. But, with that, one of the saddest things that is you start to develop to be the person that, you were meant to be, right? The person you were meant to be. When you are striving to be the person you are meant to be and you start taking care of yourself, taking care of your body, taking care of your mind, taking care of your career, getting access to new information, the sad thing is you're going to have to cut people out your life, man. It sucks, right? People you've been friends with for a long time. Because here's why. As you change your life, you're changing the person that you are. You're changing, you're striving to be, a great person, a great leader, etc. So sometimes that's going to, have you cutting some people out your life. Maybe negative impacts in your life. Maybe people who are not going anywhere in your life. That's one of the saddest things I've realized about success, right? Because if you read any success book, what does it tell you? Right? It says, show me the 5 people that you spend most of your time with, and I could probably tell a lot about you. So I would ask you, as we're kind of sitting here chatting right now, right? Who is the 5 people in your life right now that you are closest with? Are they adding value to your life? Are you happy they're a part of your circle, right? Do they help you? Do they push you to be better, right? Because I can't hang around mediocre people anymore. And neither can you if you want to be successful in this game of life. One of the hardest things that I've had to do, right, is being able to execute anything in life when my back's against the wall. And I talk about that in my book, right? Backs against the wall. Fortunately, I come from a military background, right? So that I know I'm just always one of those people where, hey, we need to just make it happen. I got to figure it out. And I just keep kind of banging. Back in the day, I'd bang my head against the wall when I was in a job search for 9 months because I wasn't even looking at help, information, people to help me. I didn't even think about that. Now I'm like, I look back and I'm like, man, if I'd had a coach, someone to help me, someone who's been through it before, I wouldn't have had to deal with all that, stress and anxiety in my life. So you need to know how to operate when your back's against the wall, when you have timelines, when things are going bad in your life. And the only way you can change them is it's up to you. There's a great quote I love to say, hey, if it is to be, it's up to me. Right. And that's the way that I treat my life. I don't blame anyone for results in Tim Madden's life. I just blame myself. Right. One of the biggest, changing factors was kind of shifting my perspective on a couple key areas. And one of those was consistency. And I talk about this in the book. I say consistency equals success, right? So many people have problems with being consistent. And I think the chapter was titled like Inconsistently Consistent. Amen. That's how I live both my lives or most of my life, right? I do well. Let's take a break. I'm not doing well. Let's do well. Let's take a break. I'm not doing. It was just this vicious cycle all the time until I figured out, hey, to keep moving forward, you have to each day keep putting 1 foot in front of the other, 1 foot in front of the other daily. And if you don't put 1 foot in front of the other, you're actually not standing still. You're actually taking steps back. So what do you want to do with your life, right? Have you mapped that out? There's goal setting in the book as well. Have you mapped out your goal setting? Have you mapped out your plan of attack, right? I don't want anyone who follows the Executive Career Upgrades podcast to be 80 years old one day, sitting on a porch saying, man, wish I'd have done this, wish I'd have done that, wish I'd have got that new job. I knew I was it. I wish I would have got in better fitness, right, in my later years. I wish I would have done whatever. I don't want to be like that when I'm 80 years old. You know what I want to be like? Hey, I freaking accomplished every dang thing I wanted to in my life. And if I didn't accomplish it, I gave it my all. And if you gave it your all, you can be at peace with that, right? I know Christina is unfortunately, as I mentioned yesterday, she's been spending time in Ohio. She comes back today to Florida. Really excited to see you. She could be watching live. So Christina, I love you. And just perspective of this, right? Her grandpa, unfortunately, is about to pass away. So prayers with her grandpa. This guy had just a phenomenal lives, guys. Do you know what he talked most about? Right? His career and all the freaking cool things he did. He was in the Air Force for over 30 years, retired as a Chief Master Sergeant, the highest rank, I believe, in the Air Force. Then went on to work at a JROTC at a local high school for another 10 to 15 years, helping future youth. Didn't have to, was already retired. After that, said, I've been pretty good off financially, starts a financial services company. Late in his career, knocks it out of the park, invests into real estate, etc. Do you know what his last job was, ladies and gentlemen? In his 80s, he was parking cars for Enterprise, man, at the airport. He did not need the money. He had the retirement from the military, the retirement for the JRTC, still got the finance money coming in, still got real estate. But you know what? He said, man, I just love being around people and I love serving people. And he loved going to work at Enterprise, just parking cars, talking to people. Phenomenal career, right? And he actually said, I wouldn't have changed anything. What do you want to be thinking about in your later years? How you went for it or how you didn't even try? So now, for only $5 or $2 or $3 on Kindle, right? I can't help you in all areas of your life, but I can help you reshift some of your current beliefs in your mind to maybe be open to thinking a different way. And I can absolutely give you tactics and strategies on what should you target, how do you optimize your resume and your LinkedIn, how do you get on interviews without worrying about applying online, how do you convert those interviews to offers, and how do you have a conversation about money. So this book took me 9 months to write, right? It's a long time. I wanted to make sure I loaded this up with good tactics and strategies for anyone that wants to accelerate their career. And what it's boiled down to mostly in changing my life significantly over the past decade has been truly mastering this part, still working on it, ladies and gentlemen, but it's mainly been around habits and routines and negative cycles and positive cycles. That's a talk for, I think I talked about that one time. But if you don't know what those are, definitely look those up. Negative thought loops, positive thought loops, and look up habits and routines. By changing the way I react to things, by changing what I do specifically in the morning, at night, during the day, with an emphasis on goal setting and keep pushing, it has literally transformed my life. But this took years to develop, and it's going to take years to develop for you as well. But I would highly recommend get started now, because once you learn more about yourself, how to build self-confidence, how to hold yourself accountable to reach your goals, you transform into just a new freaking amazing person. And while you will go through many trials and tribulations trying to cut out things that are bad for you and do things that are good for you, I can assure you that on the other end, it is absolutely all worth it. But you need to start now, man. You need to start today. What is the benefit of kicking the can down the road and about what you want in your life? Like, what is more freaking important than why you were on this earth and what your mission is? And think about this. Most people don't even have a mission, man. They're just zombies. They wake up, do the same things, head to work, clock out, kiss, repeat, blink. Holy crap, it's been 5 years. If you can't goal set, you can't push yourself, you can't do all of these things that I teach in this book for, again, only $5 on Amazon right here. It's a good, what do you guys think about the image? I think it's good, right? So I want to equip you with the tactics and strategies that you need. And by the way, hey, Amazon takes like $4. So Tim Madden's only getting $1 if you purchase the book. Okay. So I didn't make this book to make a lot of money. I made this book just to help you, right? Not have to deal what I dealt with for a very long time in my career, so that you can demand success in your career, which is what I want for all of you. Because I know when you're at a company that values you, at a company with high performers, at a company that's on a freaking mission to do something and stands for values and holds people accountable, that group of people or that company can freaking, accomplish some amazing things. So, hey, that's all I have for today on the podcast. And I really hope that not only you will support me on trying to be an Amazon bestseller. Thank you, Amazon. But really, hey, help yourself, right? Help yourself to equip yourself with the knowledge and back it up with action. Because if you do that, you can be anything you want in your life. And I'll tell you, for all the parents out there, right? If you tell your sons or daughters, right, that they can be whatever they want to be, you have to believe that as well for yourself. So go out and get yours. I'm rooting for you. Have a great day, everyone.